We have less than a month left this year, and while 2019 may have had its ups and downs for some people, I think one thing we can all safely agree on is that it did give us the most insane Christmas movie ever made! A karate Christmas miracle makes Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas look as wholesome and mentally stable as It's a Wonderful Life. All of that'll make sense when you find out who wrote the film, but that doesn't make it feel any less like a fever dream brought on by snorting too much tinsel. The plot of the film is that a young boy misses his father, who went missing a year prior, and wants to complete 12 challenges which may bring his father back, including getting a black belt in karate. And that's without any of the specifics. Oh sure, this may sound like a Christmas version of Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, but wait until you hear about how a mass shooting and a psychic professor fits into all this. I'm not joking! The movie is co-written and directed by first-time director Julie Kimmel, but the pieces will all fall into place when you see who the main writer is. Right now, the only predictable thing about the film is that while Eric Roberts may be on the cover and may be top billed, he will most certainly not be the lead, but he is still one of the most memorable things about it. Hell, with Eric Roberts being in this, that just reminds me that this is the second film in a row that I've seen that's shot in David Dakota vision. I feel like somehow there's going to be a talking cat in this film. Not sure if watching movie or real estate video. Okay, family, we're eating on a budget tonight, but we got ham-flavored salt to sprinkle on the salad. This is Abby Genesis, and tragedy is about to strike. They forgot to fill in the background on Dad's trip to purgatory. And here's our star, kinda, Jesse, practicing for his YouTube series Kung Tai Simple Ted.
Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford.
Guess that's his dead dad. This guy looks really familiar. Although this seems like a kid who would worship a picture that he found at Sears.
I think dinner's getting cold.
It's always cold, Mom. Dad's a better cook.
Okay, at first I thought Abby was supposed to be his older sister, but apparently she's his mom, especially because he seems to be the lost child of the sister from A Little Piece of Heaven. While all the other kids are at home with their families, let's let these losers take out their frustration about no one wanting to be around them for Christmas. Can't imagine why. They seem so pleasant.
Where is he?
First of all, it's a she. My sensei is a woman.
Do I look like I want to be actually'd right now? Seeming normal enough so far? Well, here's the next scene, and this is a real edit, by the way.
Christmas is only 5 days from now.
People will think this is greed and hatred. It's not.
I'm sorry, we interrupt this Christmas movie to bring you a list of terrorist demands. And here's where we can talk about the main person behind the making of this film. Is this starting to look an awful lot like The Life Zone to you? That's because this movie is a Ken Del Vecchio production. Yep, old Ken finished A Box of Wings and wrote this family Christmas horror film that instantly reminds us of the abortion horror film that he wrote. And that's him playing the dead dad, by the way, making the fact that she married him the most outlandish thing in the film. Oh, you want to know how Dad went missing? Again, that was a real edit. His dad went missing in what is clearly supposed to be the Aurora mass shooting at the Dark Knight Rises screening, and Eric Roberts is either the shooter or Satan delivering them these nightmares, or both. Or they already had Batman on their mind, so he's Maroni from The Dark Knight. Look, you can read more about the shooting in their household newspaper they just printed off their computer. Meanwhile, at a university probably called Shit-Faced U.
I have something for you little critters. Well, I can't call you critters, right? That ain't one of them forbidden words or something.
one guy here definitely isn't sure. He's gonna take to Twitter first to determine whether or not he should get the professor fired. I think Professor Bonnie Hunt here may have spiked the eggnog.
You know, celebrating with the boss, that little chubby guy, you know, little in the red suit with the beard. You are Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And that red ball, everybody's just fighting, kind of like in one of the movies, you know, where everybody's just fighting for no apparent reason.
I'm sure there's a reason why she's talking to them like they're kindergartners, and that reason is definitely holiday gin. Although I kinda want to take this class.
All right, raise your hand if you think Santa is guilty of aggravated assault.
Well, if the evidence is the hard-ass Santa scene from Saving Christmas, definitely raise your hand. And where is our lead?
Reckless and
The
dangerous.
answer is none of the above.
Do I know you, young man?
Santa Claus is guilty of nothing.
Well, I guess it is about time that I gave the show Young Sheldon a chance. Look, we're just here because we won an autograph. You're Julie McCullough. We should have known you'd be here since the Blob did the opening logo. So the professor used to be a psychic. You know how Abby knows this?
If you have a legal question, why don't you just,
How did you know that my husband is a lawyer? How did you know my son's name?
Probably because both of those names would have been mentioned in any article about a man who went missing after a mass shooting. And I think Julie's becoming an angry drunk.
Look, I don't know who you are, because I don't remember you, okay? But nobody around here knows anything about my little psychic past stuff.
Everyone in this movie could qualify as a mass shooter. She wants Julie to help her with her visions when the professor isn't busy with this raw acting talent.
I used to help the police. They wanted me to help them find missing people, and you know what I found? I found a bunch of dead bodies.
Don't let me interrupt you. Please, continue.
Because I don't want to remember any of it. I don't. I just wanted to do something happy.
You were the clown shooter, weren't you? If anything, this should confuse the psychic. How did he go missing for a year after a mass shooting? Did the shooter zap him into purgatory? Or did he use it as an excuse to get away from his annoying-ass family? Oh, but getting a black belt, that'll totally bring back his dead dad.
Jesse's trying to get his black belt in karate by Christmas Day. He thinks it will bring his father back.
It might.
What college is this, and how did you get this job? Oh, hi, Jesse. You're still wearing that, huh? You know it's starting to stink. I could wash it for you. If you don't let me wash it, I'm sending you to bed with another horrifying dream sequence.
We will haunt these victims. We'll haunt their minds, their dreams, even the very land they walk on.
Ever wish A Christmas Story were more like Saw? Forget BB guns, this one's about real guns.
There is no constitutional issue here. People are permitted to carry guns.
Excuse me, if I want to be preached to in a Christmas film, I will stick with the new Black Christmas, thank you very much. Sure, it's just as clumsily written and self-righteous as God's Not Dead, but I agree with its politics, therefore it's good. I have the feeling this kid has no clue what these lines mean.
But why didn't you tell me Dad was at the theater trying to make a constitutional argument about guns?
Perfect! No need for a take two. You got the word guns in there. You're good. Now just cut to the next random scene.
You have roast beef on Christmas. So you have gravy. A whole chicken, you put gravy on it.
And if you fight me on this, I will shoot you. It's what my husband would have wanted. Good, now the babysitter's here. I can pawn my crazy son off on you. Also, the spirit of my dead husband may haunt you over your shoulder. You were saying?
Does he have any dietary restrictions?
Yeah, he's allergic to spontaneous rave music happening out of nowhere. Not that there's anything in this movie that isn't random.
Applesauce is amazing these days. It's the new Jell-O.
Excuse me, the opening already told me that this is a jam family. She then gets a call from her dead husband's phone. Cue another tone-deaf transition.
Where did you find his phone?
Phone call from a dead guy. Shenanigans! Did I say shenanigans? I meant a goddamn aneurysm.
The green guy, he even brought in a whole bunch of the stolen goods, like a whole bunch of Class dismissed.
Just in case you didn't follow what happened there, don't ask me. No normal person could follow this. It was just another rant by the psychic professor in which she sees a razor blade that gives her a vision of a mockbuster James Holmes, which freaks out her only student, which begs the question, why wasn't class canceled for the day? Her husband's phone was at this restaurant where everyone is making the most of their small roles.
Are you Jay?
Do I look like Jay? Do I look like AJ? Jay's a letter of the alphabet, and I don't think I look like a letter. It's also a bird, and I'm not blue. Do I look blue to you?
Whatever gets the movie to 80 minutes.
Yo, hold up, babe. Hold up. I was just kidding around. I was just joking. Jay!
Yeah, thanks for wasting 20 minutes of my time. What kind of place is this? The phone randomly turned up in the hands of Ron Corbett here, sure. But more importantly, in case you didn't know what karate belts are,
A white belt is a beginner, searching for knowledge in the beginning of life's cycle. The yellow belt symbolizes the first beams of sunlight.
and an orange belt means that you like getting urinated on with a 2x4 up your ass. I love a cruising Christmas! Haven't had your fill of belts? The next scene is also explaining what the belts are.
And a fighter, he's going to wrestle the longest with getting his brown belt.
And that greatness is the black belt?
Yes.
Sorry if I'm being hard on these characters. Anyway, here's a knife I found in my classroom. It could have been your husband's. Hopefully no one sees a crazy person in this dojo waving around a damn knife. It's okay, there's a reason they're at this place. I'm not saying it makes sense.
This is where this knife comes from. Bob was using this to teach these women how to defend themselves.
Are you sure? Your husband wrote the Life Zone. Odds are he just showed up and randomly started chasing the women with a knife. Oh, what's that? Would you like to be reminded more of the Life Zone?
You attractive geniuses and live large. Hello out there in crazy land.
Okay, sure, he was also in the Life Zone, but did this movie having karate in the title just automatically summon the presence of Martin Cove? And what the hell is happening?
But remember, I will be watching you.
I am presenting all of these scenes linearly. This is all just as jarring when you watch the whole film. Look at the next scene.
Tell your mother. Then you must remain silent until Christmas Day. That's the day you earn your black belt.
This is the kind of Christmas movie you get when you grow up thinking the song is called I Saw Mommy Blowing Santa Claus, and that grandma really did get run over by a reindeer who then banged her corpse. Now here's another piece of information I've been holding off. If these sequences don't seem like they were made for a Christmas movie, that's 'cause they weren't. These visions are recycled footage from the 2016 Ken Del Vecchio movie, Joker's Poltergeist, in which Eric Roberts played a movie theater shooter who shows up to read his manifesto. I guess at some point when making that film, they thought, this isn't wholesomely Christmassy enough. And boom, put the mass shooter on the cover, and we got ourselves a karate Christmas miracle. I see these actors insisted the next scene be shot at the bar. Why not? The director is pouring drinks. At least now we can see them get drunk. We'll take a break so we can let these ladies drink for a while. They've earned it. Now that we're back, yes, the girls are still drinking, but I think the movie has had enough.
I am an instrument of power, and now my judgment matters.
Why do I feel that this is just what Ken says to himself in the mirror every morning after he wakes up, like Patrick Bateman has taken up screenwriting? You may think this means we're done with the bar scene, but nope, there's still a lot more drinking to do to make it through this movie. Yeah, it's another crazy-ass dream with evil Roberts, but my question is, what kind of kid's bedroom is this? Did they just hang up some sheets in a walk-in closet and call it a day? That could be the case if Mom is always this drunk and talking about her husband.
Was I a bad wife?
No.
Why did he have to go to that stupid, crummy horror film?
Probably because he wrote it. Nothing says sentimental Christmas movie like a widow about to drunkenly pass out. It's okay, I take it the next scene is just what her drunken nightmares look like.
My father was not a criminal. He didn't kill anyone. There, you are wrong.
I hate to be a broken record here, but... What? So, did Martin Cove have something to do with the shooting? Isn't he supposed to be the theater owner or something?
You left your daughter Aurora right after you gave her the theater. You didn't do it on purpose, though. I know that.
Oh, and if you weren't convinced which shooting this was inspired by, his daughter's name is literally Aurora. And the shooter's name is James.
James Whitmore was the security officer at my school. He was also the security officer at your movie theater.
Someone was bad this year because they just got a lump of exposition in their stocking. So many questions. Why did James Whitmore commit a mass shooting? Is that why Brooks was in prison? I guess this was a dream, like it would have made a difference if it wasn't. Even the work scenes seem like a dream.
Okay, Abby, so today, all applesauce, right?
I told you it's the new Jell-O.
Perfect.
Applesauce and Jell-O are to this movie what cheese puffs were to a talking cat.
You're mixing up your generals who became presidents.
All right.
Yeah, don't mix up your applesauces.
I won't.
Good.
I bet it feels nice when a writer comes up with a series of sentences never before spoken by anyone ever. Wait, are you actually hungover? Just never stop drinking like me. Now remember, this is also a thriller. Witness the intense walking to a meeting action.
Stairs. Where's those stairs when you need them?
Damn, and I thought she was going to be stuck at the elevator. Good thing there were stairs. Turns out Julie broke up with her fiancé 20 years ago because she had a vision of him dying, and that's why she's such a wreck.
Did it work?
I don't know. Maybe.
What an inspiring and not at all anticlimactic story. I wouldn't want to be a psychic either, only because I don't want to see a haunting Ken Del Vecchio popping up from the bushes. And didn't this movie used to be about a kid wanting a black belt to get his father back? Just kidding. Was it ever really about that? Sorry, I bet I'm missing important information.
He wanted to tell you about this. He wanted you to see this.
Why?
Beats me.
Look, Julie is only here because apparently all Growing Pains alumni are trying to out-crazy Christmas movie each other. She finds out her husband built the gazebo, so between that and not knowing that he volunteered and then taught women self-defense, did she know anything about her husband? And why was he hiding all of this? This movie answers nothing.
Let's hit the road, Jack.
And please just stick to calling me Elizabeth, okay? I don't like the name Jack. It reminds me of the creepy guy from Jack and the Beanstalkin'.
Largely because I think the actors are all making up their own lines. Oh right, Jesse, you were in this movie. And you thought Eric Roberts was going to be the only one on the cover misleading you into what it's about.
Nah. This is terrible.
Yep. Jesse should have negotiated his terms far better with the director, especially because I'm fairly certain they're related. All the belts go on the tree. I joke that the movie will end with the house catching fire and they all die, but the way this is going, that might actually happen. Abby is in trouble, though, because she went off with her psychic friend and skipped the important work meeting, and it's the boss who's being portrayed as being in the wrong.
This is your project. Remember, applesauce is the new Jell-O?
How could we ever forget that applesauce is the new Jell-O? Oh right, karate. Guess there should be some karate in a karate Christmas miracle. Even though that had nothing to do with anything, it's drink 30 somewhere in the world.
See, salt and sand is hazardous waste to Frosty.
Julie, stop bothering the interns. We need to finish the movie. Apparently, she's giving a lecture to some students in another country, and as you can see, they're totally not stock footage and totally a group of students listening to her lecture. Anyway, let's cut to Eric pointing a gun at the camera, and then back to the office. That's seriously how it goes. Same with this next edit.
He's stronger than all of us put together.
Aurora, Daddy's little girl.
Holy yikes, has anyone looked in Ken's crawl space? We're gonna cut back to the office again, aren't we?
I need some whiskey, and bourbon, or I just need a drink now.
Hear, hear. So the girl named Aurora survived, and they think Abby's husband is alive too. Why wouldn't he be? We've had karate and Christmas. We need the miracle, and more booze.
You gonna go to the bar with me? Of course I'm gonna go.
I never thought you'd ask. Here Julie finds her ex-fiancé who didn't die like her vision said, and he has a wife. There's only 10 minutes of this movie left, and it feels like there should be much more, because I don't know what is happening or where any of this is going. I'll tell you where, trivia night. Woohoo! More free drinks. So according to the Professor Psychic, hey, her visions may be bullshit, but now you know your husband was a good charitable person. Did she think her husband was an asshole before? And again, how did he go missing? Where is he? Did he fall in the theater popcorn machine and no one's found him yet? But hey, Merry Christmas! Here's to another dinner made awkward by Jesse being weird.
When you break this board, you'll speak.
Do you want me to hold the board?
I would like to hold the board. How about you, Professor? Would you like to hold the board?
Someone hold the board so this movie will end. And end it does. Don't worry, you get your miracle in a karate Christmas miracle. The real Christmas miracle is that Ken Del Vecchio is the result of a scientific experiment in which they crossbred David Dakota and Tyler Perry.
I escaped.
Well, okay.
Yep, that pretty much sums it all up. Well, okay. I guess we should all get in on this hug. Look, we're the neighbors. We really don't know what's going on here. Part of me really doesn't want this insanity to end.
It's a true Christmas miracle.
Because there's still so many unanswered questions. Where was he for a year? Was Eric Roberts Satan? Was he holding these people hostage in purgatory? Did Martin Cove have something to do with this? Did Dad die? And dead or not, why did getting a black belt and breaking a board bring him back? Good God! Even though the war on Christmas is never mentioned in this film, there was still something about it that made it feel very much like a war on Christmas movie. Remember the snuff film explosion scene during the Last Ounce of Courage school recital? Imagine a whole movie of that, and you got a karate Christmas miracle. It's a movie for that audience that even on Christmas wants to be reminded of mass shootings and gun control. I feel like I just watched the third remake of The Life Zone. That's right, I said third remake, because in 2017, Ken remade The Life Zone as a courtroom drama called Cries of the Unborn, still with Robert Loggia and Blanche Baker. I hope the next movie he does is just reassembled stock footage of all three movies. Now that you've seen my backstory, you know the full reason why I became a reviewer of karate movies. Yeah, great. Speaking of stock footage, thank you very much, Kung Tai Ted. I sure am glad that your karate skills brought your dead dad back to life. Stock footage? What stock footage? I am always dubbed, so this footage can be seamlessly reused. Seemingly reused? Why is it nighttime out? There's no nighttime here. As you can see, it's daylight on this early Christmas morning. And now there's snow? Since this is a Christmas review, you really should have started out with the snow footage. I suppose you're right. Anyway, I'm in a car now. Yeah, that's great. I am officially cutting this review off because, as you can see, the review is also shit-faced drunk. My God, what a crazy movie.
Oh, yuck. It's coffee.